My name is Emma, and this is the story of how life shaped me through pain, patience, faith, and unexpected mercy. I grew up in a house where love lived only in memories. My mother died when I was very young. I don't remember her voice, but I remember the feeling warm and safe, like sunlight on a cold morning. After her passing, my father remarried. He needed companionship, and I understand that now. But her, the woman he married, changed my life. She was sweet and gentle only when my father was home. Her voice was soft, her hands graceful, and her smile warm enough to fool anyone. But the moment he walked out the door to work, her face froze into something sharp and cold. She ordered me around, made me clean endlessly, and scolded me for anything and everything. "Don't expect anything special just because you're his daughter," she would whisper, though her whisper carried the sting of a blade. Father worked long hours, from dawn until after sundown, trying to provide for us. He came home exhausted, shoulders heavy from the burdens of life. I never told him what she did to me. He loved her. And I loved him too much to break his heart. But life does not ask what we are ready for. One day, my father left for work, and never came back. A sudden illness took him away. Just like that, the sun in my world went dark. I was 17. Old enough, some would say, to take care of myself. But I had nowhere to go. I thought my stepmother would help me, even just out of respect for him. I was wrong. Her eyes were cold when she spoke the words that broke me. "You are no longer my responsibility. Leave." She put my clothes in a small bag and shoved me out the door. The house where I had lived, laughed, cried, and hoped was no longer mine. And so, I walked. From street to street. From town to town. I worked wherever people would take me. I cleaned houses, washed dishes, carried firewood. Some people were harsh, treating me as though I were invisible, or worse, unworthy. Others were kind, offering a warm meal or a kind word that felt like a balm to my tired heart. At night, when loneliness sat beside me like a silent companion, I looked up at the sky and whispered, "Lord, be with me. Do not leave me." One day, when the sun felt especially heavy and my feet were sore, I knocked on the door of a small cottage at the edge of a quiet village. A gentle-looking old woman answered. Her eyes were full of warmth. "Child, you look tired," she said softly. "Come in." She and her husband lived alone. They had no children, and their home felt full of echoes and unsaid stories. I helped them cook, clean, care for the garden, and tend to the house. But they gave me something I had not felt in a long time. Belonging. They treated me like a daughter. Days became months, and months grew into years. I laughed again. I slept without fear. I lived with peace. But time takes everyone eventually. First the husband passed, quietly, like a candle going out. Then, after some years, the kind old woman followed him. Before they left this world, they made me their heir of the house, the lands, the small business they owned. They said I had filled their home with joy again. I was overwhelmed, grateful beyond words. I worked hard to honor their memory, growing the business with honesty and fairness. Over time, I became a successful businesswoman. People knew my name. People respected me. One morning, as I sat in my office, a woman came to see me, asking for work. Her face was older, her eyes dim with struggle. It was my stepmother. Time had not been kind to her. She did not recognize me at first. Her voice shook when she spoke. I need a job. Life has been hard. I have nowhere to go. For a moment, I felt everything at once, pain, anger, memory. But then I remembered something greater than all of that. The kindness that saved me. The love that healed me. The faith that kept me alive. I stood, walked toward her, and gently touched her shoulder. "You will have a place here," I said softly. She looked up at me, tears filling her eyes. You are Emma." Nodded. "I know. And I forgive you." Her tears fell freely. Because mercy is not weakness. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is rising above what others tried to break in us. And so, the girl who was thrown out into the streets offered a home to the one who threw her away. Not because she deserved it, but because I became someone who could give it. And that is my story. A story of loss. A story of grace. A story of becoming.